I'm the resident costume and prop designer, so I do all the costumes. Anything that you see on stage, like actors wearing, that's me. Wigs, costumes. I construct things depending on what we need. Props designer, anything that they touch, pretty much I take care of. I do a lot of the set dressings too. So like the set down here, I helped Jeff a lot with the draping on the forms and the hands and the heads. So like most sets, if they need like books or pictures or anything on the walls or on tables, that's me. I take care of that. Well, Brian, he brought up the mask idea during a production meeting. So I thought about it some more and I researched it, and I thought it would be the easiest way for the actors to switch characters very quickly. They all have a base costume that's brown, so it's like a sepia tone, for the past. So all the masks then represent the different characters. They all have different personalities. The eyes, the features, all kind of give us the identity of the character.
Okay, and how did you actually make the masks themselves?
The masks are like this industrial crazy paper mache that takes forever to make. It doesn't have very many ingredients, but it does take a long time to make. First you have to rip up newspapers, just hand rip. You can't cut it because the cellulose in the paper won't break down properly. So you have to hand rip all these papers, then you put it in this giant pot that has to boil on the stove for 3 hours. So you can only do a pot at a time. So I ended up doing like 4 different pots of this stuff. After you boil it, then you have to strain it on like a window screen and break it up. And when it's cool enough, then you have to wring out the water, throw it in a bucket, and you mix in wallpaper paste. You mix that up for a real long time, and then you let it dry again. So it has to dry completely. So once it's dried completely, then you kind of like grind it up in your hands to make it kind of flaky almost. It's just smaller chunks. And then you have to put that a handful at a time into a blender so that it gets fluffy again. Besides this show is actually one of the biggest I've ever worked on here, just because of how long the mask took. Like each mask probably took, 15 hours altogether, from start to finish. I had help doing them, obviously, or I wouldn't have been able to do this many. There are 24 of them. But this show was a very big show. There's tons of props, tons of costumes, so many characters and actors. Another one of my favorite shows is Bloody Bloody Andrew Jackson. Again, a very huge show, but I think that one turned out really nice too. And then obviously the Christmas show every year, because I get to do building things. I get to do fun things, nice big colorful costumes.